I have used one strategy to win repeatedly across 13 years in business and also outside of business. And it's one of the biggest reasons that we had a $105 million launch for $100 million money models in 72 hours for my latest book. And I'm gonna explain why it's the highest risk-adjusted return move that you can make to win more in business or just win more in life. And so if you're not sure what to do right now within your specific business, no matter what industry or size business you're in or whatever goal you're pursuing, this will help. I talk about more, better, new a lot, but I want to dive into the one that is near and dear to my heart, the one that has made me the man that I am, which is more. And I want to talk about that because the fundamental question that every single business owner needs to answer, and even every person pursuing any skill or endeavor needs to answer, is why can't I do more? And for most people, doing more is the answer, and it's far more common that it is more. What's very sneaky about more is that you get to a point and then you say, there's no way I can do more. And at that point is where the big unlocks in volume really occur. Napoleon had this really great quote back in the day, and maybe it's misattributed to him, but he said, quantity has a quality unto itself. Meaning, like, if you do so much volume, you do so much work, and in the military sense, if you just have so many people, at some point it almost has it takes on its own quality of the amount of work, the amount of people, the amount of volume that you're putting into something, whatever it is that you want to break through. So, big picture, I wanted to give you a couple cool little anecdotes to reinforce this. Some of you guys know about Sharan. He was on the live with me. He's our president at ACQ. I don't tell you two stories about Sharan. I'll tell you the moment where, like, we went from being friends to me being like, man, I really want him to be, president of acquisition.com. So he was talking about how he was growing Reel. And so Reel was a $200 million per year business. And he had grown it from 200 million to 1.2 billion in less than 3 years, so like 30 months. And I want to put that there as a moment for you guys to think about that, how insane that is. 200 million to 1.2 billion, less than 3 years. How does he do it? We're having dinner and he says, I just did 260 events in the last 365 days. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I flew around and I did every single real estate event. I spoke on every single stage. And that's how I generated, more demand for our platform for realtors. And when he said that to me at dinner, I was like, this guy, he gets it. Now, we've been friends for years, but seeing him so tactically involved in the business and being like, that was the thing that took a $200 million business to $1.2 million, just sheer volume. Now, most people might hear that and think, well, yeah, I speak on stages one time a month and, I'm on stages all the time. It's like, no, you're not on stages all the time. You have no idea what being on stages all the time actually means. Most business owners wildly underestimate the amount of volume, one, that is required, and two, that they are capable of. Your capability is always higher than what is required. But the thing is that you might not know it yet. And so I've had so many times in my life that it's become my de facto operating principle. And so I want to read you this. This is from my internal sales handbook that I have for my sales team. This is the culture of acquisition.com. Like, we ask, how can we do more? Many people say they want to be in the top 1% or 0.1% or even 0.01%. But saying that has zero bearing on whether it happens. Achievement comes from actions, not aspirations. So let's get real. To be the top 1%, you need to enter a room of 100 people and leave number one. To be the top 0.1%, you need to enter a room of 1,000 people, like a local high school, and leave number one. To be the top 0.01%, you need to enter an arena of 10,000 people and leave number one. Think about it, a stadium. And in a battle to the death in that stadium, you have to come out on top. You beat everyone, not almost everyone, everyone. And so if you have the goal to be in the top 0.01%, do you think that you can live a normal life? Do you think that you can keep the same friends? Do you think that you can keep the same hobbies? Do you think you can stay up late and sleep in on weekends? Do you think that you don't have to sacrifice what average people care about? Do you think that they will support you when you start to pass them? Do you think anyone will think this is healthy, balanced, or logical? No, and they're right, but it doesn't matter. When you want to be the 0.01%, there's no greater waste of time than explaining yourself to people who actively don't support you. It's normal for people to not understand why you do what you do. I say this because you cannot make yourself exceptional and live a normal life. To make yourself exceptional, you must live an exceptional life. And an exceptional life does not always mean better. It just means that it's so different that most people will reject it. And when that happens, you must reject them as well.